Hi, I'm Dave Spencer. You may know me as the author of the Gateway series and Great Thinkers, or possibly the Macmillan English Secondary course, or Looking Forward, or even Teamwork. But apart from writing books, I am still in the classroom every day, teaching ESO and Bachillerato students. And maybe because I'm still in the classroom, I'm very aware that as a teacher, I don't just teach English, I also help to prepare students for life in and outside the classroom and help them to develop as human beings. And I think that after the pandemic, the need to help our teenage students is even greater than ever, because many of them are suffering from stress, anxiety, almost a fear of the future. And that's why I think it's so important to develop social and emotional skills with our teenage students. In this video, what we're going to do is look at two different areas that we can work on to help prepare our students for the future. The first thing that I think we need to work on with our students is to boost their self-esteem, help them to develop their confidence and to develop a positive mindset. And I think we can do this by suggesting different strategies to our students. One really useful area to work on is the setting of realistic goals. Now, I think this is important in life and also important when we're studying a language like English. We can't learn English in a week or a term or a month. But as I always say to my students, the great thing is that every week, every lesson, every month, every term, we can learn some English. The important thing is to keep on going and not to give up. The other thing I think that we can do is help students to realize the positivity of making mistakes. Mistakes always seem to be a negative thing. Teenage students can get very frustrated by making mistakes. What we need to teach our students is that we learn from our mistakes. A good example would be, as somebody once explained to me, when it comes to speaking English, the biggest mistake of all is not speaking at all. In other words, we need to encourage our students to have a go, even if they make a few mistakes along the way. What we can do with our students is give them a list of different ways that they can increase their self-esteem, and we can ask the students to rank those ideas to decide which ones they feel are the most inspiring or the most useful. And then, of course, think about how they could put those different strategies into practice in their lives and at school. Finally, one thing we can do is we can get our students to celebrate their achievements. Maybe at the end of the week, at the end of the term, get our students to write down things that they have improved in, things that they've done successfully, things that they've discovered that they're good at, and maybe even to write down things that they've done to help other people in the class, all with the idea of developing this very positive mindset. We all have to face challenging situations in life, but I think it's particularly difficult to do this during adolescence. Teenage students, of course, have to deal with the stress of facing exams all the time. And that's particularly stressful when we talk about external exams, such as the EBAU exam, which can make such a big difference to their future. And it also could influence them when students are doing international exams, such as Cambridge or Trinity exams. Of course, those aren't the only challenging situations that teenagers have to face. When they move from one school to another, when they move from one stage of education, for example, from ESO to Bachillerato, and of course, when they change from school to university, these are all situations that can be very stressful. One great technique to help teenagers face these new challenges is from the Harvard Graduate School of Education, a technique called compass points. Of course, with compass points, we had N for north, S for South, W for West, and E for East. In this technique, we have N for needs, S for steps, W for worries, and E for excitement. So for example, when students are about to do their EBAU exams, the first question would be W. What worries them about their exams? Maybe it's they're not quite sure of the technique or what appears in an exam or how the exam is corrected. So what worries them? On the other hand, what excites them? Exams are stressful, but they can open up many opportunities for our students. Then we've got N for needs. So what do they need to know to be able to do the exam better? And finally, we have S for steps. What positive steps can they take in order to prepare for this challenging situation and come out successfully? This simple technique is just a great way to get students to be able to face these new situations. By getting the students to open up and share their concerns, they are halving their problems, and at the same time, as teachers, we can find out things that can help them maybe to prepare better for this new challenging situation. So I've given you some different ideas in this video about how you can help to develop your students' social and emotional skills. Of course, there are lots more ideas and activities. If you're interested in learning more, please do take a look at Great Thinkers, my latest course for secondary students.